Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am your host, Sunny Cadwallader, also known as CadChica on Twitter. Tuesday 10 is a quick 10-minute chat with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from business and marketing, education, media and broadcasting, and much more. Today's guest comes from the world of sports business, and he is definitely one that fits the up-and-comer description to a T. Please welcome in my guest, Mark Burns. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Sonny, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. You were definitely one who was at the top of my list when I started doing this show as someone who I wanted to get on the show, just because we connected on Twitter, but I am just amazed at all the different things you have going on. And I was just telling Mark in the green room, he doesn't just have a plate full, he has 10 platefuls. And hopefully, as he gives you a little bit of background, you can find out why. So Mark, why don't you give us a little bit of your background?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Well, thanks again for having me on. I graduated from the University of Michigan 2011, and when I initially went to Michigan, didn't even think I was going to be in the sports business world. My heart was set on going to med school and being the next team doctor of the Detroit Red Wings. And so freshman year, took a few classes in biology and chemistry, absolutely hated them, and figured if I'm going to go the pre-med track, I'm going to have to take lots of similar classes, and I wasn't really going to enjoy my 4 years at Michigan. So I figured, what do I really love? At that point in time, I really liked history, and so eventually majored in history. And sophomore year rolls around, junior year rolls around, and sports business never even entered the framework. I had written for the school paper and covered a few sports teams, and that was really my only experience in journalism at that point in time. So junior year rolls around, actually the summer after junior year, June 2010, and I remember just one night in June, my parents were in Hawaii on a trip, and I was home, and it kind of had one of those nights where I knew I was going to law school in a year, and I need to figure out what I was going to do with my life. Granted, I wasn't going to have a full-time job for 4 years or so, but I kind of had one of those moments. So I'm online, literally Googling, lawyer, JD careers, and sports business, sports agency. That sort of popped up, and I thought, I really like sports, and I'm going to law school, and how can I make this work? And I think that was when I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So graduated from Michigan in 2011, had my first real internship in sports before I went to law school, and I questioned why I was doing this. I kind of wanted to take the summer off and not even do anything, but felt that I needed to get the ball rolling with regards to my career. So had an internship with a Division I college hockey conference, and basically ever since then I've tried to gain as much experience as possible in sports, whether it's been my writing or different organizations. I interned last summer in New York at an organization called Leverage Agency, and I've just done all sorts of different internships just to get experience. So right now, currently, I'm helping plan the first Global Sports Symposium. It's a sports business conference that will be held in London, England in May. So I'm doing that along with lots of writing for Darren Heitner, sportsagentblog.com, and then just started with Sporting News about 6 weeks ago. So those are a few of the things on my plate. But yeah, I'm done with school in about 6 weeks and trying to figure out the next move. So.
Well, congratulate! I told you guys, it's like he has 10 plates that he's trying to balance all at once. But I'm amazed because it's sometimes when people get so involved here and here and here, especially young journalists, young people in business, they're trying to do so much at the same time that they don't do any one thing well. And that's what I've appreciated about what you've done is, although yes, you're learning, you're networking, you're doing a lot of different things, you're doing each one well, and that's what I've appreciated about what I've seen with you and your work ethic. So kudos to you on that. Definitely. Is there you've written for a wide variety of publications and websites. Is there any one in particular that you, not not one of those, but is there any one subject that you've enjoyed writing about specifically? I mean, you say sports business, it's this all-encompassing subject, but is there any one sport or person or anything that you've enjoyed writing about more?
I like writing about social media just because it's a huge part of the industry now, whether you're on the brand side, the team side, the league side, the fan side. It's just such a huge part. I sent you over that. I wrote an article about Snapchat about 2 weeks ago and talked with a few teams, both college and professional teams that are using it, and just hearing how it's just the next platform of the teams are using to engage with their fan base, and whether or not they're trying to even monetize it. For some teams, for an athletic department, they're not really trying to monetize it right now, but for a team like the New Orleans Saints or Sporting Kansas City, for example, their next step is trying to monetize it, and how are they incorporating their sponsors. So that's an area I love writing about, social media, and also kind of technology and how that's being implemented into different sports, and what types of technology are teams using now to gain that competitive edge. So those two are social media and technology, but like you said, sports business, I kind of like writing about all sorts of different things and just being up to date on what's going on in the industry just from a broad perspective.
That's probably the way to go, because trying to keep up with everything is just, it's mind-boggling sometimes.
Yes, definitely.
You mentioned the Global Sports Symposium. That is like right after graduation. But you've been involved in all of the planning. Can you tell me more? Because there's also a sports symposium here. Can you tell me more about the sports symposium and the global one that you will be a part of? And I believe it's at Emirates Stadium, right?
Yeah, Emirates Stadium in London, England. Yeah, we're partnering with Arsenal Football Club. So yeah, Sports Symposium. Just a short. Sports Symposium Inc. was started by Chris Cheney back in 2006. And the Ivy Sports Symposium is from that organization, and that was a yearly conference rotating among a few Ivy League schools. And so, with that organization, Sports Symposium Inc., there was the one symposium, but this year we're going to be doing the two symposiums. This is the first year we're taking it overseas. We're doing it in London, like you said, holding it at Emirates Stadium, May 15th, this year. And so we have about 25. Or we're going to have about 25, 30 speakers, probably 5 or 6 panels, very small compared to the Ivy Sports Symposium that we had at Harvard Law School last November. We had probably about 100 speakers and moderators, along with 500 to 550 attendees. So this will be a little bit smaller, but yeah, that's right after graduation. Graduate May 10th, and that's May 15th. So yeah, it should be good. Should be definitely a good experience. Right now we're in the process of selling tickets and getting the word out there, and it's a little bit tough just because no one knows who we are over there, and so it's been a little difficult. But we have a good team, about 7, 8, 9, 10 students, along with our executive director Alex Rosen. So we're just putting this thing together, and hopefully be a great event.
Now, have you had to already go over to London to do some of the prep work, or will this be the first time that you're going?
This will be my first time. Alex is actually over there right now, meeting with people at the stadium, meeting with partners and affiliates, and I think he's meeting with a few sponsors or potential sponsors and having conversations with them. So he's over there right now. In the States, it's just me, Alex, and another fellow, Tanner Simpkins. He's at Columbia University getting his master's there. But we have a planning committee in London, about 5 or 6 students from London Business School, along with a few other schools, and so they're on the ground there. Yeah, like you asked, I won't be going over there until May. So,
where, if someone's interested in that, is there a website that they can go to? What's that website?
Yeah, it's www.sportsymposium.org, and it's a brand new website that we just had kind of created just because we're having the 2 conferences now. A great digital agency in Minnesota, Sports Digita. They did a great job, and we're still working out a few kinks here and there, but they've been great. The last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, they've been put it all together, and so we're still hammering out a few different issues here and there, but for the most part, it's all done.
So in May, you'll graduate from law school. You'll attend the Global Sports Symposium. I mean, you've been doing all of this and balancing school. I know you said you're not quite sure, but what will be next when you're when all of this is when all is said and done?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Definitely still writing with Sporting News. I just started there, yeah, like I said, about a month ago. So continue to write with Sporting News. I continue or will continue to write with sportsagentblog.com, Darren Heitner's blog. And then I guess full-time job, I'd like to either probably do something in college athletics, just because I have about 8-9 months of experience working in athletics here at school,
Right.
or kind of the sports agency world. And so I've had conversations with agents and different agencies, and that seems like the hardest niche in sports to crack into. That or maybe journalism, I feel like. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm still trying to figure things out, but I'm going to a conference in about 2 weeks down in Charlotte, and there's gonna be a career fair there. So maybe something comes from that. So we'll see what happens, but I mean, I can only control what I can control, and so we'll see.
I am not worried at all about you. You're just so talented and driven, and like I said, you have a tremendous work ethic, and I've admired that about you since we've connected on Twitter. And our time is done, so thank you for coming on the show. I told you it would just fly by.
It goes by fast.
It does. Why don't you let everybody know where they can connect with you, whether it's one of the websites you write for or on social media?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Twitter is probably the best way. My handle is Mark, M-A-R-K-J, Burns, B as in boy, U-R-N-S, 88. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. I could give you my email, but
no.
That's probably the best way, Twitter.
Definitely. And if you have not connected with Mark and you're one of those who's just like Mark, young and looking to break into the business, I would highly recommend you connect up with him, because he's got some great connections, great resources, and I know I've seen him help others trying to do the same thing that he is. So he's a great person to connect up with. So thank you, Mark, for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Sonny.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in another edition of Tuesday 10. Tune in next week, or join me next week, when my guest will be Paula Boyven from the Arizona Republic, and we'll probably be talking a lot about Arizona sports. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.